Hi, Dr. Tim here for the last in our series of segments on dealing with change, in fact, thriving in change. We've talked about the stages of change. We've just talked about the first stage of just letting go, releasing the past. Then we talked about this ambiguity stage where you're navigating the unknown and have to deal with that. And then in this segment, we're going to talk about rebuilding the future. You know, it reminds me of a time with my son where we went on a cruise, and by the way, I'm not a cruise guy, but I love my family, so I went on a cruise. And so he wanted to go swimming with the stingrays. Now, this is before the whole Steve Irwin thing, so we thought it was pretty safe. And so we went swimming with the stingrays. And as we got off the big ship and we're going out to the lair of the stingrays, the captain comes out and he says, we need you to sign this. And we looked at it, and the brochure was all about the frolicking family fun, but now they're passing out the liability waivers. We counted the word death in the liability waiver. It was listed 11 times. So 11 times they're telling us, this is a deadly thing to do. If you step on the tails, you'll die. And if you step on the tails, it's not our fault because you were stupid enough to go swim with the stingrays. I looked at my son, he looked at me, and we're like, we're here. So we signed. And then we get to the stingrays, and they're swarming around the boat. They're all around us, ugly little critters. The captain comes down and he goes, I need a leader. I need one person to go in there first. If I can find one brave soul that will go in there first, everyone else will follow. Who's my leader in this group? So he looks around, and don't you know it? My then 12-year-old son, Zach, raised his hand. And my chest goes out. I'm looking at the other dads like they're wimps, and he goes, my dad will do it. I'm like, what are you going to do, right? Your son just volunteered you to go into the deadly lair of the stingrays first. You have to do it, right? So I looked at him, I go, you're next. And so I get to the edge of the boat, and I get in, and I'm very careful about stepping on the stingrays because that's a bad thing. And I looked at Zach, I'm like, okay, Zach, you get in. Well, Zach's method of getting in was to jump on my back and wrap his entire body around my body. Now, he's a pretty big boy, and then every time the stingray touched him, he's screaming this ear, and he's screaming this ear, and he's screaming in my ears, and the stingrays were all over. Complete panic. Well, while everyone's getting in, they're screaming, they're yelling, they're panicking for a couple minutes. Now, the funny thing is, after a couple minutes, they start calming down. And I'd say after a couple minutes more, there was frolicking going on. We were having a good time. Now, why were we so scared at first? The unknown. Now, remember, the second stage of change is dealing with that unknown, navigating the unknown. We hate the unknown. But when we get in the water, when we do it, we can often overcome that fear and navigate it. So what keeps us stuck? 3 things, again, that keep us stuck in the rebuilding the future stage of dealing with change. Number 1, fear of failure. Many of us are scared to fail. We treat it like it's such a horrible thing to fail. We get all worked up about it. We're so frightened of it. And especially the last couple of years, because a lot of us have hit some failures. So it's scary. And so people let fear of failure stop them. Now that makes sense. Just we understand fear of failure. No one likes it. And yet there's another fear, and that's fear of success. Now, and it's a funky thing. Why are people afraid of success? You wouldn't think that'd be a scary thing. But the truth is, for many people, it is. If you're one of those people that kind of hold yourself back, you know you could do more, but you don't, you might be afraid of success. And why? Well, there might be a fear that success could bring more responsibility. Maybe people would expect more out of you. Maybe people would think, oh, I got to do it all the time at this level. And so a lot of people are very subconsciously afraid of success. And then thirdly, third block is loss of confidence. Again, we've been beat up. It's been a tough couple years. A lot of people have hit roadblocks. And sometimes even the most confident people, your confidence is shook a little bit. Now the good news is, there's some simple techniques, whether it's loss of confidence or fear of success or fear of failure, that you can do. And I'm going to use the analogy, be a dipper or a diver. There's 2 types of people that get into a cold swimming pool. There's your dippers and there's your divers. Your divers jump on the diving board, they jump up and down, they go into that cold pool, and they freeze their behinds off, but they get used to it pretty quickly, and then they're having fun. It's initially very painful, but they get used to it. Then you have your dippers. They go in, they put a toe in, get down to the ankle, go to the knee, wait a while, and then finally dip into the water until they get used to it. Now, it's initially less painful than the diving method. It just takes more time. So which is better? Well, I would say neither. Are you a dipper or a diver? Either way, you're getting into the pool. It's people that avoid the swimming pool that are missing life. So when you need to rebuild, you need to overcome your fears. Fear of success, your fear of failure, your loss of confidence. Be a dipper or a diver. If you're a diver, just go do it. Nike, go do it. Just get in there, do it, plug away until you're successful. Just don't stop. Be tenacious, be persistent. If you're a dipper, build a list of scary behaviors. With your scariest one here and your least scariest one here, maybe 10 steps to lead up to the big one. Then conquer the least scary step first. Once you do that, you build confidence. Then go to the next one. Conquer that, build confidence, and then slowly build up your confidence and decrease your fear so you can rebuild the future that you want. 3 stages: letting go, releasing, mourning, navigating the unknown. Gotta get creative, gotta do all sorts of things and watch how you think during that stage. Then finally, rebuilding the new. And this is where we can empower ourselves that even in the toughest times, we can not only survive, but we can thrive. Take care.